Hey everybody, Jesse here from Flyers Alley. I want to talk to you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. We use Anchor in the Alley. You guys should too. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Flyers Alley Live. I'm your host, Jesse Bell. Along with me for the ride tonight, Wade Ruska. How you doing, brother?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm all right, I guess. Jake, how you doing, man?
As good as you possibly could for a Monday.
Oh, I hear that. My day was pretty loose. It's pretty easy going, to be honest with you. My boss wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad for me either, but it's still Monday.
That's true. That is true. Before we jump into it, actually, no, wait. How was your Monday? Might as well, not skip you, not be rude.
Yeah, fuck, it was Monday. Let's go. Let's move on with it.
Already got someone. What's going on, Brent? Brent Clemmer says, "What's going on, gents? How you doing, brother?" It's been a long time since I've seen Brent in Flyers Alley. If ever.
Finally got out of that hot tub over the weekend.
Oh, that hotel maybe. Before we dive into this, Flyers Alley is sponsored by Body Check Wellness. Go to www.bodycheckwellness.com and use promo code Flyers Alley for your Hemp Thrive CBD oils and functional mushroom blends. That being said, let's dive directly into this. A big thing happened Sunday. Was that Sunday? Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday. Right. So the Flyers traded Philip Myers and Nolan Patrick to the Nashville Predators for Ryan. What? I messed that up. No, we got Ryan Ellis for Philip Myers and Nolan Patrick. Nashville immediately traded Patrick to the Vegas Golden Knights for center Cody Glass. How do you guys feel about this?
Yeah, Wade, you can take it.
Yeah.
I love it. We got an upgrade. I mean, Myers is still young, so he still has a chance to get better, but it's an immediate upgrade that we needed on defense. We needed a guy with Prove. I was on the Patrick wagon for the longest time trying to stick up for him, but after he switched up agents and pretty much made it known that he doesn't like the spotlight on him and want to get the fuck out of here, he's going to a much tougher division on the West Coast. And I don't think he's going to crack the top two lines on Vegas. I think he's going to be a third or a fourth line guy and probably miss half the season.
Wow. All right. Jake, what do you think?
I agree with Wade. I mean, if you're a Flyers fan, you should love the trade. I mean, it sucks giving up on a player so young, but like Wade said, when he's already trying to force his way out of here, then it's just a win-win for everyone. I mean, he gets to leave. He gets to go to a smaller market. Yeah, they've been in the spotlight the past couple of years because they're the new team, but now that Seattle taking over, I think they'll take some of the spotlight. He'll be a mid-liner, low-liner, I think, for the rest of his career. I mean, hopefully – I don't hope he's the greatest in the world because that's bitten the Flyers in the world, but I do hope that his migraines stay away because I never like to see a young guy get their career ruined by injuries. But that being said, I'm happy to have Ellis, especially for to pair with Provy, and then just to help all the young guys. It's not even just Provorov. We got a lot of young talent at that position that could really use that veteran presence that we were lacking last year when Niskanen decided to retire 2 weeks before the damn season.
Yeah, right. Brent Clemmer says, "See you later, Nolan." And Joe Craig says he didn't want to be here, kick rocks. I got to agree with that. I mean, once you change your your agent, and you're given the signs that you want to go. A lot of things go through a lot of Flyers fans' heads. I would think a lot of them was he actually, as bad as he was, which I'm sure he was, but, I've seen some things on social media. I don't know. I think he's going to die in Vegas. I don't think he's ready for that at all. If he couldn't be here, he can't be there. I mean, it's just not in the cards, I feel.
No, they don't have as well of a fan base and media as we do. I mean, Philadelphia media is probably one of the biggest sports media in the country, and I think the sports media is a bigger reason why we get a bad rep as fans more than anything, because there's never really positive media coming from Philadelphia sports media. It's always negative.
That's true.
And they just always paint a negative narrative. I mean, look at all the Eagles stories that come out when there's nothing going on. It's just for the talking heads, I think, most of the time. Sometimes is some of it true. I'm sure it is. But a lot of times I think they're just, doing those hot takes that everyone loves now just to get those clicks and those likes and start a heated conversation between people. And I don't think they really have that in Vegas. I think it's more positive media out there with it being a new team.
They definitely love their team. I can tell you that right now. They're everybody that's out there. If you hear anyone come on to a podcast or anything of that nature, they love the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm just really confused about their mascot is fucking crazy looking. It's like a rattlesnake or some shit. I don't know if you guys. I think his name's Copperhead or something. It's a little wild looking, but yeah. I can't say that I wish him good luck because I didn't like him. But after everything happened, he just never picked his shit up. At the same time, if you're not well enough to play, then get off the ice. I know you want to do it, but I mean, it is what it is. It's still come to work. But I really think he's gonna do not very well in Vegas. I think he goes. I don't think Vegas holds on to him very long. To be honest.
Are you happy to have Ryan Ellis though?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, after I put that I'm sharing this to everything like I usually do. I just didn't have a good time to do it. The other after I did that article, made me actually kind of like stats a little bit more, and the Matt Dumba and the Jones was just literally a time bomb waiting to go off. Their stats aren't anything compared to Ryan Ellis's are more solidified than theirs.
Yes.
I mean. You can't really – at the same time, you can't really take anyone's stats from last year, but I did because they were that bad and they were that much worse than the previous years.
I mean, look at fucking Nolan Patrick. He was a negative 30 last year with the amount of time that he actually got to play. So
yeah, that's crazy, actually. That's more than them. They were like negative 18, I think.
You also got to remember it's his first season coming back from being hurt for 2 years, basically.
Oh, hey, Doug Smith. Doug Smith is watching, apparently. Doug Glatt.
Nice. But yeah, if you're talking about plus and minus for Patrick compared to Jones and Dumba and anyone else, you have to look at as Patrick wasn't playing probably half the minutes those guys were, so you have more of a chance to let up a goal or be on ice during the goal than Nolan Patrick, who's I'm not sure what his average ice time was, but it couldn't have been that much last year to be a negative 30. No. It was. Right. I remember they pulled the stat up and it was like only his 30th game of the season, he's already at a minus 20. I was like, that's pretty bad.
Well, it sucks too because of what he was supposed to be, and the Philadelphia fan base and the Philadelphia curse is going to be he's going to go and be a stud somewhere, but I just don't think he has it in him, to be honest with you. I just really don't.
No,
he didn't even bulk up. I mean, there's only so much training that was a huge problem with the migraines. He didn't really bulk up. So he might be just one of those on the lighter side players that don't just stick around long enough.
Right. Yeah, I mean, whatever. We'll see what happens with Nolan Patrick. I'd like to get into the next thing, but at the same time, that what is funny is like how he did leave and then immediately got traded to the Golden Knights. Like they didn't want him. But
well, earlier during the offseason, he was rumored that Vegas, there was speculation that Vegas wanted him. So
I don't remember seeing that. You're right there.
But I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
That makes
Nashville gets a guy that they wanted, obviously, but I don't know much of that player that they got for him.
Glass.
Yeah,
he's young. I mean, obviously they wanted him. They wanted him more than they wanted Patrick. So.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised that we got rid of it. We were able to get rid of him. To be honest with you,
his price tag was cheap too.
But still, I think
the big thing was Myers in the deal.
Yeah,
he's the only one. It sucks to see him go.
I'm sad about that.
I mean, honestly, I don't think this team's as bad as they ended the season. I really do believe that COVID had a lot of effect on them not being able to practice together for a couple of weeks and having off, and then playing that condensed schedule and not be able to practice at all. I know everyone else has done it too, but when a couple of guys get it and then everyone has to pay for it, I feel that really threw them off, especially in the middle of the season. It started hot, and then boom, you get hit with that bullshit, and it just kind of never got back on track. And I think, having Kevin Hayes come back from his surgery, and he might not even be ready for the beginning of the year, but I say give him the time he needs. If he's 2 months in, the team should be able to stay in the race until he comes back 100%. You don't want to rush that.
It's a good time period to get synced up and gelled in with Ryan Ellis.
Yeah.
So I mean, Hayes, if he's 100%, he's going to come back and he's going to do what he's got to do. You could tell. I was talking to you guys towards the end of the season. I was like, "What the fuck is Hayes doing?
Yeah,
what is he doing?"
He looked 10 times slower, and he looked like he was scared to battle for the puck.
It was funny because he wouldn't reach for the puck a foot in front of him, and I was my exact words of, "Why is he just not going after the puck?" And now, come to find out, it was the hernia or whatever. Yeah, it was a hernia.
Sports hernia.
Yeah, so that totally explains everything. But yeah, I'm sad to see Myers go, but at the same time, like, he needed to go somewhere else, and down in Nashville, he's going to get exactly what he needs. So
they produce and train defensemen like it's their fucking job.
Yeah,
Shea Weber, Ryan Sutter, Roman Yossi, Ellis. So I mean, they just fucking print defensemen like it's nothing. So maybe in a few years we get them back.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I wouldn't want you guys to say, because when I say it, it'll just never happen.
I mean, we swapped Chemo Tiemann in, and we also swapped Hartnell back and forth with them. So,
yeah. Before we get on the next segment, everybody go check out the OCS website, www.oldcitysports.com. Old spelled OLDE. Check out the Dusty Buttes Hockey Show, Rumble Fumble Live, the Blue Line pre-show, which is our AHL league-wide show, the three-pointer, and the Half-Timers podcast. Those guys are actually funny as shit. I was listening to their episode today. That they have a Louisiana accent. It's absolutely hilarious. But dude, they're so funny. Moving on. Let's get to the protected list, and I have it here. So we have Nicolas Aubé, Sean Couturier, Claude Giroux, Kevin Hayes, Travis Konechny, Scott Lawton, Oscar Lindblom, obviously now Ryan Ellis, Ivan Provorov, Travis Sanheim, and Carter Hart. Are you guys okay with this protected list?
I mean,
let me go Wade first. Let me go Wade first.
Yeah,
you're about to. I know what you're about to do. So yeah, Wade.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, they're obviously leaving the big pieces off. Big pieces I'm referring to as JVR, Jake, and Ghost because of money situation, most likely. That and underperformance all the way around for all three of them. Even though I would like to keep Ghost because points. I mean, now we got a solidify 1-2 punch on the first deep pairing. Now you got Ghost and Sanheim, most likely. They'll probably put them two together. I don't like that they left Hag out there because he's very cap friendly and he's a guy
getting better.
And he'll run you into the fucking boards. I mean, I would have kept Hag over Sanheim only because Sanheim pissed me off all last season.
Yeah, you weren't a fan of it. You were cursing his ass pretty good last year.
Yeah, well, he admittedly said he had a bad year though. And
yeah,
I think a lot of that is just not having the training camp in an off season for these young guys.
That's true.
It takes a lot for someone to actually own up to it too. You know, you look at fucking somebody like G, never his fault or anything like that.
Nope.
There's a lot of good conversations going on about him. I think we could save that for the end because I know a couple of people that are watching or someone in particular that thinks that it's gonna be an easy conversation, but it's not gonna be. Jake, what do you think about the protected list?
I think Knack is completely overrated, and I don't understand what the love is for him.
Get the fuck out of here.
He does absolutely nothing offensively. He's 5'11", if that. I'm sure they're probably fucking measuring him with skates on.
Yeah, 5'11" on skates.
Yeah, he's
the same height. He's the same height as G.
Yeah, not much of a grinder.
Well, let's not make the link there. All right.
Not much of a grinder. I guess because it's cap friendly, but
I don't know if you could say he's not much of a grinder.
I'd rather have JVR or Ghost. I mean, you already know I love Ghost, and I think he turned it on just as much as anyone did the second half of the year, and actually was out there trying, unlike a lot of other people. So if Ghost goes, I'm gonna be pretty pissed off because you'd have pretty deadly power play defensemen. You know, Ellis can play power play. Obviously, Provy is good on power play, and Ghost is one of the best defensemen on power play, and that's three guys right there. And then usually you put a forward back, you know, as your second defensive pairing on a power play, which Voracek did a lot. But I don't think Voracek's going anywhere unless there's a trade done because nobody wants Voracek. His contract is paying him way more than he's ever done in this league. So, you know, a lot of times I'm all right with bad contracts. It's like you're getting some contracts are you get paid for what you've done, not what you're going to do. And I think his was you're getting paid for what we believe you're going to do, and he's never done it. So, and I don't think anybody wants to take that on. If anything, I think Seattle's going to take JVR just because he's automatic 20-plus goals every year. And he's a good guy to have in front of your net. But I wouldn't mind seeing JVR go. The pick I'd rather have go is Voracek just because the money and the production isn't there. So if we can work out a deal, I mean, they might even work out a deal to get both of them off. That way they have money to spend in free agency.
Let's see. How far do the Flyers go next year? Brent Clemmer. Let me say my opinion first, and then we can get into that because I do like that question. I like the list because I am a big Knack fan.
Knack sack.
I don't. Hey, look, these comments are not gonna age well. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. You haven't seen enough of him to make a comment. That's kind of.
He's definitely not the next Lindros.
Whoa, I don't know who said that, but. Some fucking guy. But yeah, I guess I have no defense there. I do see him producing a lot this year. But at the same time, if he doesn't, then yeah, he can go. I have no problem with that. I don't think I do see it would be stupid to not take JVR, I think. But at the same time, that backdoor deal that they're talking about, I didn't write it up. I can just say it. Seattle takes Tarasenko. Tarasenko goes obviously to Seattle, and then Seattle trades us for Voracek and Haig and a pick for Tarasenko. And that has actually been the most solid rumor that it's all over. So it has to be happening. It's coming from both sides. Somebody find out who that is. Yo, awesome show.
Jamie Pascal.
Jamie Pascal, allow StreamYard to know who you are. Give StreamYard permission to know who you are so we can see your beautiful face when you comment. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm definitely okay with everything that's happening now. I'm kind of on the fence when it comes to the Tarasenko thing, because along with the Tarasenko rumor is a Tyler Bertuzzi rumor as well, which is actually pretty solidified. And the reason why I don't like either one of them and why I think they're going to happen is because they're both fucking hurt all the time. So, like, that is what they're going to do. And it's the big sexy name, like Jake says all the time. That's Jake's quote. I'm going to get you a shirt that says, "Stay away from the sexy name." Anti-sexy name or something. There's going to be something.
Yep.
But you're right. It's the truest statement that's been made in the past 2 years. Everybody wants Tarasenko. He doesn't need to come to Philadelphia. I don't care what anybody says. He's going to hit the ice, and he's going to get hurt. Bertuzzi, maybe not too much. He's got back problems, and that's a huge issue for me. But if they're on fire, then they're on fire, and we're good. But, I mean, it's just too – it seems like more I don't know. I don't want to take the risk. That's a huge risk, especially at the spot that we're at right now. We get rid of Jake, it's not that big of a deal. Get rid of Haig. I don't really want Haig to go anywhere, but we will see. As far as go ahead, Wade.
I was going to ask you what else? What other pick? What grading of the pick would they be get? Was it a first?
I thought I saw fourth. I thought I saw fourth. I guess a third or fourth. I know it wasn't.
I believe Tarasenko making just over $9 million, so we're kind of increasing our cap hit if we were to do that.
I mean,
but if
to
we
me,
get rid of
Tarasenko is just a little bit younger version of Voracek. I don't think
he shoots the puck.
Yeah, but
he's not afraid to shoot the puck.
Not number wise, it's not anything insane to where it's like, yeah, let's pay this guy $10 million, but not this guy. So,
you guys want to get into? I was getting the Brents. That's a pretty bold question. Brent Clemmer asks, "How far do the Flyers go next year?" I'm going to go first because I think that that's kind of an unfair question. I mean, obviously we want to see them go far. I think with the regular season coming back, everything being normal, I think the Flyers are going to actually make an absolute run. I think Carter Hart's head gets straight. Everything gets good. I think Ellis steps up. The guy that we needed to step up, I think that may be Ryan Ellis, but I hate giving a guy a job and the credit to do that right off the bat. So we'll see what happens. But I think they do good. I mean, am I saying we're going to go to the Cup final? No. But I think we're going to do good. And I think, at least the people that are part of Flyers Alley group pages and people that are loyal to watching us and listening to us, they're the same mindset as us. I'll be satisfied with how we end up this year. Jake, how you feel?
We're going to the fucking Cup.
Fuck me.
I'm just I'm just kidding. No, we're not going to the Cup. But
after that speech, you're going to really do that to me?
I say we're a playoff team. I mean, anything can happen once you make the playoffs. So just make the playoffs first. I mean, this is more, I think, a better question for after the expansion draft, the draft, and free agency, just so we see what the complete team is. Because right now, I mean, anything could happen. I definitely don't see the roster sitting still with Voracek, JVR, Ghost, tons of names out there that are just being floating in all kinds of rumors. So, no, I think we'll make the playoffs. As the 8th seed, Toronto will be the overrated 1 seed, and then we'll knock them out in the first round. Their favorite thing to do is get knocked out in the first round. Brent's Toronto Maple Leafs. So,
here we go.
That'll be our cup here at Old City Sports Network when we knock Toronto out of the playoffs next year.
We should let Brent start a Toronto Maple Leafs podcast. Just have a little battle between the Leafs and the Flyers. Wade, what do you think?
I think we're just going to cut short of the playoffs. Right now, it's still too much like a crapshoot with all these, possible moving pieces going around. But defensive-wise, I think we improved already with just Ellis just being added onto it. It's a giant fucking needed Band-Aid that we needed. I'm more curious now to see who else we're going to pick up on the defense and the goaltending spot because all those juicy goaltenders that are out there. What the fuck is that laugh about?
You'll see. Let me rip through these comments real quick. You'll see. Brent Clemmer also says JVR is definitely going. I think it would be a smart move. But But think of it this way, though. So can they do this? Can they take JVR and then? Are you serious right now? Do they take JVR and then can they get Voracek as well in that trade with Tarasenko? That's possible to happen? So
that's possible, but that's a lot of fucking money on just two players, right?
All right. So what if they do it though, and then they get JVR and they get?
Technically, they have to do some stupid money moves because they have to reach at least the salary cap floor.
Right. Yeah. So that might be.
They could eat some big contracts like that. Like
they could find better players for that money though. So I mean, there's a lot of big names out there right now. Yeah, there's
a lot of big names.
I mean, you got to fill all
goalie wise.
Yeah,
goalie wise.
You just take Carey Price. There goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. No one's getting Price.
No,
I would definitely jump on that.
Him being hurt's a stunt to get him out of the fucking.
Yeah, his hip injuries.
I'd still be like his Seattle piece. I don't care. I want you. If somebody else wants you, they can fucking pay for it.
Yeah, and plus you're going to put fans in the stands just by having Carey Price.
Facebook user is actually Jamie Baskow from Flyers Nitty Gritty. Thanks for coming out, man. Yo, awesome show. Thank you. We also have Frankie James from Flyers Nitty Gritty. Now we're talking Frankie James again. I think they finished second.
Is that in the conference division? Or, I mean, how are they doing? Yeah, how are they doing next year? We're not playing the same 8 teams every game, are we? Going back to normal schedule?
Nah, we're back normal.
Thank God.
A lot of weekend games, Jake.
There you go.
Just saying.
Unless if fucking Canada does another.
Yeah, COVID's coming back, so everything might get shut down again.
Joe Craig says that's a tough division, though. It is, but we're actually good in our division, the regular division, like how things normally are. I think we'll be fine. Joe Craig. Also, Jake Long, your dad, Flyers gonna win the cup, and then follows up with cup. All about it. Hey,
I hope, man.
I won't go against it. I mean, no, I don't want them to get the cup.
No,
I'm gonna dent that cup with my fucking forehead, dude.
I mean, look at the damn Canadians making it to the cup. No one even thought they would be in the playoffs, and they made it all the way.
Every single podcast I listen to that's not Flyers oriented literally says that the Flyers are the biggest underdog, and no one wants to go there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joe Craig, 4 playoff teams in the Flyers division alone. Yeah, but look what happened. And we usually do pretty good up against them. So remember, we're going to have all the games this year, all the points from all the games. I think obviously we do better. Joe Craig said 4-player teams. Yeah, I don't care. Jake Long says, say that every year. Yeah, that's true. I mean, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? You can only be Flyers fans. Moving on. The unprotected list. Now, I did this kind of weird, so bear with me. The list is pretty long, so I had to fit it in there.
Real. I couldn't find a picture of it either. I was looking.
I saw it once, and it was text, so I just did it like this.
Oh, boy.
And then I'll scroll towards the bottom. So, James Van Riemsdyk, Andy Androff, Connor Butterman, David Cosse, Pascal Leberge, Sam Moran, German Rubstov, Carson Twarensky, Jacob Voracek, Mikhail Vorobiev, Chris Bigris, Justin Braun, which I think is probably the best move they ever made, was getting him on there. Shane Gostisbehere, Robert Haig, Derek Pouliot. I'm upset about the Procrastinator. I don't care what any of you guys say. Taylor Wotherspoon, Brian Elliott, Alex Lyon, and Felix Sandstrom are all exposed to the Kraken.
Well, also, Brian Elliott is technically a free agent, so he shouldn't even be listed up there.
Yeah.
Right.
Same with
he was on the list.
Your boy Prozer.
They were both on the list. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, the only name that I don't like is Gostisbehere. I mean, JVR would be nice to have back just because he's a good, guy to have in front of the net. But Ghost is the guy who I really would like to see protected, especially over Knack.
So let me go through what you guys think about that. But I have something. It was a rumor, early rumor, that Felix Sandstrom was basically getting offered to them. So say that they take him, and then what?
That might be one of those backdoor deals. Maybe, hey, we'll give you him and Voracek and a pick. for either pick in exchange or a player.
I'm saying, what if they just take one guy, and it's one of these I hate to say lower guys, but what if they take Justin Braun straight up, or they just take David Casse, or
then we won't be spending any money this whole season.
Exactly. A lot could happen. A lot of bad things could happen with this.
I'm sure Fletcher and the organization have backup plans if they don't take any of these guys. Yeah. Either that, or they already have an idea of who they're going to take, and they probably have some, plan B, plan C's for the guys with big cap hits, to where if Kraken don't take them, they're like, we're calling this team during the draft. We're going to see if we can, give them a good pick just to take this salary and then maybe get a late rounder from another team. Just basically a salary dump for like a Voracek. I don't see Voracek coming back at all.
Oh, you think he's gone?
Yeah, I think he's done.
I have like mixed feelings about Voracek. Like, he's such a good player, like on paper, but it's just like it's kind of like the argument that I have with Giroux, that we all have with Giroux. I think a lot of people's perception on him is what they want him to be and what he's not. Voracek's. I don't think Voracek's a scorer. He's more of a passer, and I think that's what Giroux is turning into, which I'm okay with. But
someone's got to shoot the fucking puck.
Yeah, one of them. I mean, and then doing these little fancy, pretty passes when you can either. I mean, you're taught from a young age. Good things happen when you put the puck on net. And when you're
consistent, and I think he's right.
Yeah, when you're passing the puck and not getting a shot off from that pass, then it's just a wasted play. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see a guy take an awful shot to get it towards the net, especially if you have guys like JVR and other guys, grinders down there that are just going to get them dirty goals. We don't have a guy who you can give it to on the wing and can score from anywhere on the ice. Now, some guys coming up, Forrester, Frost, Konechny might turn into that. We've seen some signs from Konechny, but
if he doesn't activate this year, he's gone.
Yeah,
straight up.
He was so inconsistent here. At times, he didn't look like he knew how to handle a puck. Like he was chasing the puck more than anything. Like,
I think you have to kind of say that it has to be COVID. It's got to be that their heads were fucked up, and that's it. Because Konechny's that's not him. So I don't want to see him go anywhere. He goes somewhere else, he's going to be an all-star. I don't want to fucking see that.
All this COVID talk. Who's supposed to take the locker room by the balls when something like that happens?
Who? Who, Jake?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, the guy with the C on his jersey.
Haven't seen him.
You're just fishing, aren't you?
Put a fucking V on there for fucking vagina.
I love it. Joe Craig says, and they're both were paid to be stars and leaders. Both are neither. I still follow my statement of. Let me get this off the screen now. It's fucking taking up too much room. I still follow the thing I said last year. The past 2 years is take the C off him and let him be a regular player. Just give it to Couturier, see what happens. But at the same time, if you take the C off Giroux, I see him leaving.
Yeah, he'd have
maybe
to.
Not.
How do you? Unless you're overhauling your whole locker room, I mean, everyone was supposed to be led by Giroux, and unless you bring the whole team in together and everyone agrees on it, Drew's like, yeah, I'm completely fine with it. But then everyone's gonna be like, that. Well, he's really a bitch if he's just letting someone take his captain.
I don't know. You look at San Jose and Jumbo Joe he passed it on to the next player, but I mean, even Dallas Stars did it when Mike Modano passed it down to.
Yeah, I think it would have to be like voluntary, but maybe if AV had a behind the scene conversation with Giroux and was like, hey, I really think you should pass it down to one of these young guys, and if they mutually agreed to it and did it that way instead of Giroux looking like an asshole and then just stripping him of the C and putting on someone else, because then he has to go at that point. You can't have that kind of feud and animosity in the locker room when your new captain, him, are butting heads.
I mean, why not? Maybe we'll get some production on the ice if they fucking we're having little cat fights in the back.
Hey, man, if you take the C off him, he doesn't have to worry about. I feel like the biggest issue with Giroux is the fact that he he's the captain in the spot that he shouldn't be. He's the captain as a player on the ice, if that makes any sense. Like, you don't have to be like he needs to. He may not be a scorer. A lot of people's arguments are that he's not a scorer. He's not a goal scorer. But I mean, he can be.
Yeah, but throughout his career, he's been majority of a passer. I mean, his first years with when we had the Mike Richards, the Jeff Carter, Simone Gagne. I mean, they had people that he could pass it to,
right,
to shoot. Now, Voracek, we thought he was going to be more of a scorer, but he's obviously a pass-first mentality guy. I mean, maybe if we get Tarasenko, maybe that both of them
can't give it to him.
Do some damage? No.
You gotta give the C to Couturier or Lawton.
Oh, definitely, yeah. If the C's staying in house, that's the only way. Flyers always done it, except for when we got Chris Pronger, because it's Chris fucking Pronger.
It's Chris Pronger, yeah.
Right. Why would you not?
Yeah, he would have beat someone's head off for it.
You're gonna listen to him anyway, right? I mean,
exactly.
But that's the thing. In Giroux's defense, though, like the captain being like the tough guy and all that, those days are over. I would like one, and if one steps up, then yeah, let's do it 100%. But with the Flyers, I don't think they have it.
We don't know what goes on in the locker room, but it seems like Giroux's not that outspoken. So if you're not the captain on the ice, then you got to be the outspoken captain off the ice. And at times, sometimes you see him get riled up on the bench, but it doesn't happen,
when Crosby's on the ice
enough. Yeah, exactly. It's about the only time. His one shift, his one glorious shift that everyone still rides nuts for.
Hey, man, you got to give him credit for that fucking Stadium Series goal.
Yeah, that was fun. But
he's got a few.
Guess what?
He's got a few dingers. He's got a few of them.
Yeah, Stadium Series don't win you Stanley Cups, though.
Okay, there we go. All right, moving on. It's kind of the same subject, but a little bit more into it. Nicholas Aubel stays in Philly.
You can move that exclamation point.
You want me to put more?
Question mark?
Just put ...
I don't think it's anything. I'm telling you. You're good, but I'm telling you, in the middle of the season, you're going to be like, all right. I'm like, yeah.
I will come on, in the middle of the season, I will come on the show. I won't buy a jersey. I'll buy a player t-shirt because I'm poor. And I will wear it backwards with his name on the show if he starts tearing it up.
You can't hate this. You can't hate this guy like you're hating Giroux. Like, it's just not fair.
You
gotta give him more time.
My thing is just I have a guy who I like in Ghost, and that's
he might not go anywhere. He might not go.
He might not.
If Ghost doesn't go anywhere, then you have to like Aubel.
Yeah, I'll be back to mutual with him.
Right.
Over under Kubel playing for more than 40 games.
Come on now. Look. He's gonna produce.
AV likes to put him in the doghouse and forget that he's even in there.
Yeah, whatever. AV can fucking go somewhere too. He doesn't. I'll tell you this: if they don't produce this year or make it far, he's gone after this season.
Oh, probably.
I'll put money on it. So.
Yeah, and Chuck Fletcher has to do a good job this offseason as well.
Joe Craig, got to get the plug for the jerseys that fell off the truck. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. They're falling off the wall. They're falling off the wall now.
You got to just stick with retired greats because then you can wear them all the time. Can't go around getting Nolan Patrick jerseys and stuff.
I have one on the wall.
I know.
So you want that one? You can have that one.
Next time, if it's not raining, we have a fire. We can start it up with that.
I would never do that. We can start it with that Montreal flag.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I won that bet, by the way. No, I did win that bet. I sort of won that bet. They didn't. If they won the final, then I had to fly the flag until preseason.
Just throw up right on it like it's a toilet bowl.
Who does Seattle take now that Knack is on the protected list and JVR is left exposed? Do you think they're actually going to take JVR?
I do.
Yeah. That's where I would put my money because he's young. His contract's a little heavy, but you got him for 4 more years at 700, and he's still in his 20s, earlier 20s. So
I like JVR. I hope he doesn't go.
I mean, we all seen it. Some games he fucking, putts around, and some games he lights it up.
Well, can the Flyers? All right, can the Flyers win a stand or even get far deep into the postseason on ugly goals, like cherry picking in front of the net goals? Because we haven't had very many like sexy looking goals.
That's how you win playoffs.
That's what I'm
those
saying.
Dirty goals.
Is it possibly win playoffs? But just saying, I like the dirty goals. I don't like the fighting goals. I like them.
JVR is actually 32.
He's 32? I thought he was 26. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's getting up there. But
Trevor's 26 probably.
He's a guy who's going to play well and score 20-plus goals a season for at least the next 3-4 years, probably the rest of his contract. So I just think
they may have different options. They may have a different plan because of how many guys are the exposed list is unreal. Like they're 100% going to be a competitor this year or contender for the cup this year. 100%. Yeah, I don't know about with Chris Drager, but
I don't know. They're on the West Coast. They're on the West Coast, man. They got a fucking hard schedule.
Yeah, but are they starting this year?
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough, dude. But especially I think they're gonna be.
The good old Haskell behind the bench.
Did you just call him Haskell?
Yeah.
Haskell?
Yeah. Yes.
I fucking hated him, dude.
We definitely need cap relief though, so I would be fine with JVR going just because I'd rather have that money elsewhere, especially since our team's pretty young. So if we could stay young but still have talent and sign someone, to a 5-6 year deal that's going to be with this team and grow with this team for a while, then I'd be fine with JVR and Voracek going.
Joe Craig says, is this Lehigh Valley did great? Oh, no. Las Vegas did great right out the gate, too. Yeah, this whole thing is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, I just get to pick any – like, come on. I don't know. Did they – now, I don't know if anybody knows this or if, Jake, you could look it up real quick. I mean – well, it wouldn't be quick, so don't worry about it. But when the San Jose Sharks came into the league, I don't think that they did this the same way.
No, I think they did.
Do you think they did?
Yeah,
they got one player off every team?
Yeah, I believe that's how it's always been.
That's fucking outrageous, dude. It's just you're setting them up, which also is very competitive, which is good at the same time. But I don't know.
I mean, I don't like how Vegas is exempt. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then they'll be exempt. They'll be exempt too. In the following year.
Is it only because they're so close to each other, or is it just because it might take a couple of years for I'm going to keep saying Quebec because they definitely are the most ready city I think in Canada for another hockey team. But say if they come in 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years down the road, now is Seattle exempt, or is
they are
too far?
They're exempt. They're exempt like the Vegas Golden Knights were for 3 years or so. 3 years, I believe.
Because when Vegas went up, nobody was exempt. So the newest team then, I think, would have been Winnipeg Jets.
Joe Craig says it's because they just came into. We know that. We know that, but it's just stupid. We're saying that it's just dumb that
you get to protect fucking Vegas for 3 or 4 years in.
Yeah. It is what it is though. But the Kraken should be, we're gonna whoop their ass. I'll tell you that right now. Knock on wood. But we just lost that game.
Blowout.
That better not happen this year.
Price's first game of the season.
Okay, so if I'm reading this right with the San Jose Sharks, they switched cities, right?
Huh?
San Jose took place at the North Stars.
I thought Dallas did that.
I thought Dallas did all that.
Yeah, the San Jose chosen.
I think the Sharks were just a new team.
Yeah.
They sold the North Stars Okay, serious dispute. Okay, yeah. In 92-93, he ended up moving to Dallas. Yeah, so it was Dallas in 92-93.
Yeah, so I guess so. So the Sharks come out; they're a new team. My belief is so. I guess it's Sharks, Sharks Vegas, then obviously the Kraken now. You should go get your own players. That's how I feel about it. Like you have an AHL affiliate now. Use them. Hey man, like.
But to fill the roster, you need draft picks, and
that's
if
not
you're just
my problem.
starting out,
that's not my problem. So every single
then
team,
you don't grow the sport. You don't grow the sport.
But at the same time, you're sitting here doing all this now, and and not every single player in the league's got to be. Yeah, this is bullshit. Like, do you think? I mean, what if? So say JVR doesn't want to go anywhere. He said it in the episode of Nasty. No, nobody wants to go anywhere. So like, you're just gonna go to Seattle. No, Seattle should have to go out. Seattle should go out to a lower league, find people, and get their own players.
I know who would want to go to Seattle back in the day. Mike Richards.
He might want to go now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Crack cocaine, whatever you want.
Decriminalized. Let's
He's
go.
A fucking buffet out there, dude. He's killing it. That's funny. I like this. I like this. This is the last question, unless you guys have something else, which I'm pretty sure you probably will. Are the Flyers done bolstering the team, or is there another blockbuster trade on the horizon? Now, I know I talked about the one with, Tarasenko and all that. Do you guys think that, besides the Bertuzzi thing, I don't really call that blockbuster. I
don't know if we'll get a big, sexy name. I hope we don't, like Tarasenko.
Well, let me add on to that too. And where? Okay, I think it probably should be. Are they done? And if they're not, where should they improve? That's a better way to do it.
Yeah. I definitely don't think they're done because, like I said, I think they definitely want Voracek off the books. So if they don't get taken in the expansion draft, then they're going to be moving either JVR or Voracek via trade. So I think that would be the blockbuster deal. But I don't think we'd be trading them for any big name guys. I think we'd be the ones sending away the big name guy in Voracek for maybe picks just for cap relief, and then maybe going and signing a couple free agents with that money that you just freed up. So for a blockbuster for us, bringing someone in like a Tarasenko, I hope not. Stay away from the sexy names. Flyers have done it for so long. Just trying, to please the fans because, you have to give them credit because they do go for it all the time. But just bad contracts after bad contracts has put us in this make the playoffs like every other year situation right now because we don't have the money to go out and now we just have to build from the youth. And I think we're doing a good job of doing that. So maybe get rid of Voracek and go get a couple veteran guys that can contribute, on any one of the lines, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and also just be that veteran presence besides Voracek because it kind of seems like he has an attitude sometimes towards the coach. And if players,
everybody,
yeah, exactly. And if younger players start seeing that disrespect to your coach or the media or anyone like that, then they're going to start following in your footsteps. And that's not really good for a young team. You want leaders that are going to show you the right way to do it. You don't need a big name like a Shea Weber, but I think Ellis is going to be huge for him. He's not the biggest name out there, but he's a hell of a defenseman and seems like a hell of a guy. I really wish it was him who said he was going to fight Gritty when he got off the airplane, but it was a NASCAR driver. So he all flew us on that one.
I'll hit you with the car.
I think in addition onto that, I guess no in-house, no Phantoms. You think could help solidify any of the depth that we need?
If Frost and Forrester can stay healthy, I think maybe you give them a shot. I think they're all going to have a shot to make the team at the beginning of the year. But, hockey and sports like baseball are with a certain amount of games you play, you get a certain amount of free agency rights and things like that. So I think they might keep those guys down for at least half the season until some injuries pop up, and then they're forced to bring them up. And hopefully when they do that, they just take off and force their way onto the team to where they're playing so good they're like we can't put this guy down there. Yeah, he's playing too good. I think that's the way they'll go with some of these young guys.
Before I forget, I have kind of a Wade. Please don't forget yours because I have a pretty. It's kind of lengthy, and it's kind of like a shout out to a couple people. I am gonna say I do think that they're almost done. I do kind of hope the Tyler Bertuzzi thing happens over the Tarasenko thing, just because it's just like Jake says, it's the sexy name, and I really want to stay away from that. To be honest with you, I think there's some in-house things that could help, like Tyson Forrester, Zay Wisdom. They do need time. Morgan Frost. I mean, if he's not hurt, he could have a breakout year with us as well. Hopefully TK activates. But when it comes down, I'm going to be a broken record, and I'm giving my boy Brandon Montour a shout out with that. You can still get this guy. I'm just saying, he'd be cheap. It wouldn't hurt. It's not going to hurt. He's a left/right hand defenseman. He wouldn't hurt. I mean, and when it comes to offense, I don't. I've always been pretty satisfied with the offense. I know that's gonna be crazy to say, but like, I think the offense was so worried about the defense that they were playing too much in the back. So I think with a solidified defense, you're gonna see what the offense can really do. So,
yeah, I think a lot of our young offensive guys, they really need to step up this year. I think the defense last year, everyone expected to step up, but again, COVID and the lack of offseason, I feel like it affected a lot of young guys. But this year, it's going to be all eyes on not just the young defensemen, but the young scorers that we have to start putting the puck in the back of the net and go from there. And I think that's what they'll try to do. Like I said, sign maybe one or two vets that contribute to the team, but not the big name, and then let these guys develop and play in the NHL.
Wait. Sorry for putting you out there.
Big? No, it's all right. Just, they're kicking in, so. I do like that you brought up Montour. I forgot that he was a free agent, so basically anybody could try to get him. And
yeah,
he's probably been bouncing back and forth between, Buffalo. I'm sure he's got his place there because he spent, most of his career up there. So, and he's Energizer type defenseman, it looks like. Especially when he was at Florida, he was like all over the fucking ice hitting people, which is something that we need on the back end.
He's kind of like a hidden gem almost. Yes. And it's not, and I said this in the article I wrote the other day, it's not because we've built a pretty cool relationship with his uncle, Greg. Shout out to Greg. What's going on, brother? He's good. I mean, he's a good player. He is what we need, and he's young and he's cheap. It just doesn't.
And he's not slow at all. His speed is surprisingly pretty quick. If he can get up there on the forecheck from dumping it in, that's saying so. He's got some legs. I mean, he's not obviously the fastest, but with his size, jumping in, it's going to help us if we decide to get him. Like you said, he's a left and right-handed defenseman.
Yeah, that's nice.
As for blockbuster, they're going to call it a blockbuster if we get rid of JVR or Jake or Ghost. Any of those three names are going to put the name blockbuster on it, which
that's true.
They're just mediocre. The problem was Bertuzzi, back issues. I would stay away from that. 26 with back issues already. I'll stay away from that unless if I'm going to get a third-round draft pick.
So before I say that, I probably should have said I don't know where those two are on their injury timeline.
Tarasenko is 100% back, but he's coming off of 3 surgeries in 2 years.
So I don't know about Bertuzzi then.
Bertuzzi, I know he was getting surgery as opposed to at the end of last season, the season that just ended.
So he's expected to be ready for the 21-22 season.
Who's that?
Bertuzzi.
See, the thing is about Bertuzzi is he is a fucking nightmare against us. The Red Wings are always. Yeah, and we need another one. I think if we had 2 pests, I think we'd be all right. JV, TK takes the mantle, but I mean, have another one.
But you need something with a bite back, and Bertuzzi can throw down if he has to.
Like
Another name that's under free agent is Max Domi. A lot of people are saying he has attitude issues. I mean, who wouldn't have an attitude issue with fucking Twitterella, that rat face fuck?
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
you guys are awfully fiery tonight.
It's Monday, man.
It's fucking Monday.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I would like to kick the wheels at him. Obviously, I wouldn't pay anything over $3 million for him.
He's still under contract, though, isn't he?
You guys got to remember the boy down in Dallas is still there. Jamie Alexiak's still down there, man.
I also saw that Columbus is shopping Seth Jones towards them, so he might be in a package deal.
6'7", 255 pounds.
But he could be slow.
I don't give a shit. Go watch his
You
fight.
will care when they go blowing right by him on a 2-on-0 because nobody likes to play defense on our team and lay it up.
Don't think about past transgressions, bro. Don't do that.
But I mean, I like it. Obviously, I like it because he likes a fucking hit. So, but I think he's a bit too slow for our division.
I didn't think of that. That's a good point. I just like his fight against Nick Delorier. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Go look that up. That is vicious. There's like nowhere he can't get away from him. His reach is just like.
I still would take Montour over him because
I would take Montour over any of them.
Bertuzzi's a restricted free agent, so there would be some type of pick involved.
Right.
His cap hit last year was 3.5, so not bad at all.
What about Vince Jones? I mean, not Vince Dunn. Sorry, not Vince.
Free agent, and he's unprotected. So if the Kraken decided to take him instead,
I would take him just for the fact that he knocked out Curtis Gabriel in the wrong way.
I knew you were going there.
That's the only reason I want to get him on the show. Like, hey, man, how'd that feel?
Too. He's young,
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted out here. He was one of my top three was Alexiak, Montour, and Vince Dunn. I wanted them all. We could have got all three of them for what we were looking at.
But,
I mean, yeah. Like I
they
said,
might, different prices. If St. Louis is here, you're talking to Dallas for a defenseman, they might up price their goods.
Price ain't hurt. So price isn't hurt. Neither Shea Weber.
No. The price for the players.
I don't think we're signing another defenseman. I don't think we're getting another defenseman.
I don't think we would either. I think we're done it.
Yeah, because I don't think Braun's going to get taken. And when we had the interview with Jamie Bascal, he said that the organization loves Braun. So I think he's going to stay.
Did you see the press? The press conference with Chuck Fletcher about Myers. He was like, "We love Myers. We just think that He basically said that he'd be better somewhere else, and he's young, and you could like him, but it's all about business at the end of the day. I'm not saying you don't think that, but
how would you guys feel about Zach Parise?
Absolutely.
Yep, I would take him.
I wouldn't take Suter though.
No, I honestly think we're done with defensemen.
Yeah.
Especially any type of
talk about leadership right there. I mean,
yeah.
Dude partnered up with Shea fucking Weber.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do now?
I'd put him back there on the D.
Who?
Keep him on the third pairing. Sutter.
Yeah, we can't now, so.
Depending who's being plucked off. So.
Send Ghost. You got to send Ghost then.
No, hell no.
There you go.
It's going to be Ghost, Anaheim, and then
I do think Ghost is going to do good this year, though. I think there's going to be a little bit of a fire behind him. He was getting a lot of shit towards the end of the year.
Well, yeah, he's also the only fucking guy on the team that stuck up for his goddamn goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Captain.
Wow. I hope our guy Frankie James is watching. He's the next guy that's going to come on Flyers Alley and step up to the plate when it comes to
Captain Fraud.
I don't want to jump him, but I mean, come on now, you got to call it what it is. He's a half-ass fucking captain.
Jeez.
Yep.
Jeez. You guys got anything else, or can we wrap this bad boy up?
Not big news, but they added an assistant coach, Darryl Williams. Apparently, he had some time with AV with a couple other teams. So I think it was 9 seasons in total that he coached under AV. So there's some familiarity with those guys. So hopefully it works out. I mean,
that speaks some things though.
Yeah.
That AV may not be going after this year if they do bad. Then if they're getting some people,
either that or they're saying, "Hey, go get your guys, coach them up this year. If it doesn't work out, pack your shit and get the hell out of here."
I mean,
get his guys to get him out and steal his guys.
They still have Terrian back there too. I mean, they can cut the head off the snake and let him be there. He's literally a head coach, just sitting behind the bench as an assistant.
That's true.
So, I mean,
I want to know what happened to Scott Gordon. Where's he going? Where's he at? I liked Gordon.
Probably got a job with Tampa.
Yeah, they can pay everyone. They don't have a salary cap.
His idea was, or what I was hearing was that he basically left to go get he wanted to invest in looking for an NHL coaching job. I think he was 100. I would have taken him as an assistant at least. But no, that just makes sense. Who's this? No. Facebook user, I loved Gordon.
That's Samantha Lynn.
There she is. That's our Blue Line pre-show host, Sam Wiseman. Thanks for coming out, Sam. Let StreamYard have the permission to know who you are.
Makes it easier.
Yeah, so we don't got to look. Even though I'm looking I just can't look at 10 different places at once.
So with all this talking about this, we didn't even dive in on the goaltending that's open market right now. With Brian Elliott obviously kind of wanting out, it seems like.
Well, now is it seeming like that now? I mean, he's on the list. He's on the exposed list. I feel like once he would have got on the exposed list, he probably, if he was going to retire, been like, "Hey, I'm done."
He probably feels he got one more year left.
Hey, I mean, if we got to get into the goalie talk again, I'm in. Let's fucking go
again. Have
we not done it? Oh, I read an article about it.
We talked about it before. We talked about it a little bit.
All right. Well, I mean, shit. I mean, who would you want? Who backs up Carter Hart then? We'll go, Jake. Yeah, we'll make this the last one. Let's eat a hot pocket.
Reimer, Bernier, any of these guys, really, any of these vets, I'd rather have. I don't want to. Yeah,
Reimer, I'd stay the fuck away from. Like it's got COVID or something. I'd stay far away from it.
Really?
Yes.
I like Carter Hutton. I think.
Yeah, I can't believe they let him. They're letting him out there.
Yeah.
He's a good goalie. That's
both their goalies are out there, right?
I think only the one.
Yeah.
Omar isn't.
Too.
No, he's not.
He's
saved.
Okay.
He's protected. I was actually shocked by that.
It says he's an unrestricted free agent, though. Did they sign him?
I mean, he's unprotected. He's protected.
Yeah, he's protected from the draft. But as soon as that whistles over, he can answer from anybody.
Yeah. Okay. So if they're protecting him. If they're protecting him, though, I think they're expecting to re-sign him. So why would you protect a player?
Well, while they're protecting him, they could still negotiate rights because he's still technically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if they're doing that, then why waste the? I guess you have to protect the goalie too. So
yeah, you have to. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the Flyers could just keep Elliott. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, if he's not retiring, I would love to bring him back. I mean,
yeah,
he's had some bad games last year, but he can't start that many games in a row. That was the problem. And the problem was the defense.
Capital killer, dude.
And Carter Hart.
Yeah, every time we played the Capitals with him, he's the capital killer. He's got their number. So, I mean, you got to remember that before COVID, it was working. So, like, you got to – it's like it was like 10 years ago, but it was legit like a year, 2 years ago. So, like, I don't know, Wade, who would you want then? Since you don't want Reimer, you said stay away from him like he's COVID.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want anything coming out of fucking Toronto.
What type of deal do you think Hart's going to get? Because he's a restricted free agent.
Reimer's not in Toronto.
He wasn't?
Nah, they got their goalie circus up there right now. I don't think he's part of it.
Carolina he was with, right?
I think so.
So.
What's his name? What's his name's down there, too? We had him.
Yeah, Reimer was with the
Mrazek's down there too.
he ain't gonna come back here.
No. He had like one good game with us.
Yes. The fucking fans crucified him. And he's
Kind of
going
lying.
back.
That's what everybody was passing out on the ice randomly. All the goalies were just passing out on the ice for some fucking reason. That was great.
Jonathan Bernier, I think would be the safe bet. I've come around to him,
I told you, man.
But looking at it, I mean, he was also a backup to Jonathan Quick in his days. I mean, he seems like he's pretty much content on being the backup. He doesn't want probably all that pressure as being a number one. Just looking at his track record, I think he finally started for Detroit. I think that might have been his first mainstay as number one there. I could be completely fucking wrong and talking out of my ass, but
Nah, you're good. You're right.
My boy Peke Rene fucking retired. So that was.
Why is that your boy?
You
just like saying Peke Rene.
Peke. I mean, I liked Nashville back when they had Shea Weber, Sutter, and Peke Rene, and that was the three heads of the
when they had Subban?
No. I just said Shea Weber.
No, I'm saying when they had Subban.
No.
You didn't like when they had Subban?
No.
Okay.
Weber's my dude. So
Bernier.
My safe bet would be Bernier. If you're going to try to pay for a decent, serviceable, I mean, Elliott's still decent, but I think he's looking for a nice spot to retire. Probably, the beach is probably not cold Philadelphia.
Yeah, he definitely has like a shell necklace on, so he's definitely looking at beaches.
Yes. He might be the backup for Tampa. Go in there cheap.
They don't need to be cheap with Tampa. They got unlimited money.
Those shirts were the best.
Yeah.
I totally want one of those shirts. I'm going to go with Bernier. I mean, he's been a solid goalie everywhere he's gone. I don't remember what his save percentage was, but when he's with Detroit now, and as bad as they've been, they're categorized with like the Ottawa Senators and the Buffalo Sabres. And for most of the year, the New York Rangers and the Anaheim Ducks. His save percentage was still in the 900s.
Yeah, so, I think he had 930, 931 at the end of last season.
So for somebody to have something like that and be with the team, it's what I like to call bad team, good goalie.
Yeah, I mean, he was under 3 goals against last year in 24 games with a shitty Detroit team.
Right.
Even in 2019 as well.
And he did really, really, really well when he was with Toronto. Yeah. So, I mean, he's the smart choice. He's the sure thing. And there were rumors tied to him already. So, I mean, if that conversation is talked about, they're going to get Bernier.
I would love it. But
they can't get anybody else because, like I said, I think I was talking to you, Jake, this weekend. You got to get somebody that you're not worried about in the net when Hart takes off. So if Hart has a great year, it starts, getting his getting his head together and getting his feet good on the ice, and gets out of the depression that he apparently was in, has a night off. You don't want him. Not saying Elliott's like that, but there aren't a lot of goalies in the league that are available right now that you wouldn't be worried about being in the net.
You also got a player like Halak too. I forgot about Halak. He's a free agent.
Yeah,
and he's seasoned. So
you need Bernier. But in my opinion,
I would still think, if obviously Bernier's like, no, I'm going to stay in Detroit. They're offering, $4 million over your $2 or $3 million that we're going to offer him. So,
all right. on that shitty note.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's wrap this up. Again, thanks everybody for coming out. We had a pretty good turnout. Everybody go check out the Dusty Buse Hockey Show, Rumble Fumble Live, the Blue Line Pre-Show, the 3-Pointer, the Half Timers podcast. We are going to be doing an interview with Andre Leroy on August 1st. So everybody check out that when we put up the poster. You guys have anything else? Sign off.
Rumble Fumble Live this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Going to be talking some training camp battles, and we're going to do the top safety of all time debate. So tune in for that, 10:30 a.m. this Sunday.
Didn't have to shit enough to not plug your show, though, huh?
No, I was thinking about not doing it, but I was like, let me squeeze this turtle head in one more time.
All right, guys, on that note, good night, good hockey. We see you guys next soon.
Later.
See you guys.
Hey, guys. Jesse here from Flyers Alley. Just want to remind you guys, Flyers Alley is part of Old City Sports Network. Go to www.oldcitysports.com, old spelled OLDE, and check out all of our great shows, including the Dusty Buttes Hockey Show, the Halftimers Podcast, Rumble Fumble Live, and the Blue Line Pre-Show, which is our AHL League-wide show. New articles and schedules are updated weekly. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time in the alley.